Hey guys, I'm Tim Langston with Red Dog Bushcraft, and today in our fire series, I thought we would cover matches. My secondary means of starting fire, one of my favorites. But all matches are not created equal. Now, when it comes to book matches, these are probably the best that I've ever used, and these are the ones that come in a military ready-to-eat meal, or MRE, and it even states on this book of matches, see if you can read that. I'll read it for you. These matches are designed especially for damp climates, but they will not light when wet or after long exposure, several weeks, to very damp air or high humidity. That's the reason I keep my book matches in one of these little small pill bags, little Ziploc bags, to try to keep them dry. Now, paper matches are nice. They've been around a long time, but there's a couple of problems with them. Number one, when they get damp, they don't work very well, so you have to keep them dry, and that includes the striker that's on the back of them. And when you do strike them, it takes very little exposure to air to blow it out. The nice thing is you've got several chances at starting a fire. And there's even fire schools out there that they'll take that match and split it in half so that you get 2 fires out of every match. They're small, they're lightweight, carry plenty of them if that's your choice. But for me, I really only recommend one kind of match. There's lots of other matches out there. There's red tips, blue tips, green tips, safety matches, wax coated matches, survival matches. The list goes on and on. But whenever you start talking about survival matches or the different ways that they coat a match, it just means hard to light. For that reason, I've become very fond of these. These are storm matches. Now, used to you could only find these at REI, but now UCO is selling them. They're on the open market. You can find them at most any sporting goods stores. And I really like them because it's not actually a match. A storm match is actually a fuse on a stick. And the way this works is contained within the little vial here. You have a little plastic bag, and that has some extra of the strikers on there. They do wear out, and if it gets wet, you'll need to replace it. Now, word of caution, if you take those out of that little plastic bag, make sure you put your used one, if you don't discard it, but there's 2 in there. Make sure you put the other fresh one back inside the Ziploc bag, because you don't want these in there bouncing around and the tip of the match coming in contact with the striking surface. Because if you look at this match, notice the little brown tip on the end. That's the part that ignites. The other part of that process is the chemical that is on this striker pad. It is a chemical reaction between the chemical on this pad and the chemical on the end of the match, or actually fuse. So this is not intended to burn the stick. It's a fuse on a stick. It's designed to give you between 4 and 6 seconds of flame to transfer that to your tinder. So the chemical reaction takes place when you rub those 2 together. If you have that exposed in this match safe and it's jiggling up and down, this little tight waterproof seal, you've created a pipe bomb. If that goes pop in the back of your backpack, it could get exciting. So let's refrain from that and keep our strikers inside the plastic bag. Now, there's 2 ways to strike the match. You have the American method, and if anybody sees you strike a match like this, they're going to know you're from the US of A. And that is to put your finger up close to the tip of the match and rub the match down the striker. Now, the problem with that is many of us are scared we're going to burn the end of our finger, So we have a tendency to hold it back farther away from the head like this, and then we press down, and when we do, we break the match. Doesn't render it completely useless, but you certainly took away your stick that's going to keep the flame away from your fingers. So if you're going to use that method, you must place your finger up here towards the head of the match. Now don't worry, it's very slow lighting and you've got plenty of time. The other method that the rest of the world uses is they turn the match upside down, because unlike pressing it in the center, when you press down on it like this, you're going to hurt your fingers to the point that you're going to stop long before that stick breaks. And that method, you hold the match like this and you run it down and create that chemical reaction. Now this is the reason why I like this particular match. Not because it's hard to light. My striker's about wore out. And here's some water. And we continue to get that flame even after we submersed that lit match in water. By far the most robust match that I have ever used. Storm matches. There's a lot of different companies making them now. UCO has always been the one that has been my go-to. I'll show you the packaging one more time. They're not sponsored the channel or anything. I don't have any of that. They're just a good product that I'm passing on to you. Zippo makes one. I've used that one. There's another company out there, but Stormproof is what you're looking for. It's actually a fuse on a stick. Much more robust in its nature, and it's a much more reliable match. Now, let's talk about how to transfer that fire to our tinder. So number one, we're going to use our cotton ball just like normal. We process that up. We're going to take our match with our wore out striker, see if we can get one more of them lit. And we want to come in from the side when we ignite our tinder, or hold it underneath our tinder. We don't want to put the match down or just flick it on top. Those are two problems that I see. They'll ignite and the student will want to just drop it down on top of their little tinder pile. You really need to strike this thing and then place it under your tinder to get a good rapid and fast ignition. And you'll have much more success. Placing it under and holding it and letting that heat rise up through that tinder. Okay, just a couple little tips on matches. I hope you enjoyed this one. I enjoyed bringing it to you. Until next time, I'm Tim Langston with Red Dog Bushcraft, home of global safety and survival. God bless.